totally get it. Writer's block is a very real, very upsetting thing when all you want in the world is to just come up with an idea that you're passionate about or move forward with a project or just really feel like you're regularly creating and you just seem stopped up. It is super frustrating. I went through a period of like 2 years where all I wrote was one 3-page sketch. I wrote one funny scene that was like 3 pages over 2 years. That's probably the worst period in my life. I was not making anything at all. And it really, really sunk my mood. But I found a lot of key helpful ways in order to get out of that, jumpstart my creativity, bring that art back into my life, bring writing back into my life. Now I'm probably averaging like 50,000 words a month. I'm doing the equivalent of NaNoWriMo every month with no lack of inspiration or ideas. Now, I'm not saying that that's the goal you should shoot for, or that I write 50,000 good words. I'm saying that's possible to go from nothing to a whole heck of a lot, and even some stuff in there that you're proud of. I did a lot of research on this because I wanted to make sure that the stuff that I was bringing you and the ideas that I'm going to be sharing in this video are new, are something that you didn't see before, you can't get on another random blog, and that they're things that worked for either me or for people who are doing art professionally, people who have huge prolific outputs. So all of these ideas are tried, true, and tested. They're very different from a lot of the other things that you're going to see online. We're going to focus on things you can actually do. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on change your mindset. It's going to be actions you can take in order to inject some creativity in your life, jumpstart your writing, finish that book, song, whatever you've been working on. We're going to focus on practical actions that you can take. And also at the very end of the video, as a bonus, I'm going to add in one very easy, ridiculously easy, kind of silly, simple to implement tip to help you write more faster. So stay tuned to the very end for that super, super easy bonus tip. My recommendation for this video, I split it into 3 sections based on whatever problem that you might specifically be having. The first section is you just don't have any ideas, inspiration, motivation, you're just not making anything and you're finding it very hard to have the will or motivation to make something. So when you're not having that inspiration, that motivation, and that output at all, that's section 1. We're gonna have 3 ideas in there. Section 2 is all about, okay, I wanna write, I have ideas, how do I make this a daily practice? How do I get over the fear of actually doing it and make it a part of my daily life? So how do I do that? Section 3 is for when you're like, okay, I have a project, I'm very dedicated to this project. I don't need just things to help me get over the fear of writing. I don't need things to just make writing my daily thing. I have an idea. How do I finish this idea? I've been sitting on it for too long. How do I get it across the finish line? That's what section 3 is all about. Knowing those 3 sections, what I want you to do with this video, if you know one of those 3 sections really pertain to you, go ahead and you can skip to that part in the video. I've put the table of contents in the description below. You can go ahead and skip to where I talk about your specific problem and the solutions for it. Then I recommend watching the video all the rest of the way through, noting down any ideas that you haven't tried or really strike you as something that could be helpful for you. Make sure you jot it down, you make a note. Then you're gonna walk away from this with one thing that you are going to try, that you are gonna put into practice. You just watch this and you're like, oh, well, those were a lot of good ideas. I'm not gonna do a single damn one. Then watching this video did not help you, is not gonna help you. Watching this video and saying, wow, all 9 of those sound really cool, I'm going to shove them into my life, also not helpful. So you're gonna watch through, find one of these 9 suggestions that seem like it could really help, and then you're gonna take that and put that in action. So you're gonna find one thing, you're gonna focus on that, see if it jumpstarts your creativity. If you need more of a push after that, or if it really, really works and you've turned it into a great habit, come back to the video, watch again, find something else to implement for you. But it's helpful to start with one at a time. And now, without further ado, these are the 9 ways to beat writer's block. Okay, so the first category that we're looking at, if you're not really feeling motivated, inspired, you're not creating at all, and you don't even know where to start, you've got no ideas, we're going to talk about how you can inject more creativity into your life. We're going to get an emergency infusion of creative inspiration and ideas. First thing we're going to do is we're going to look at our social to alone ratio. What I mean by that is how much time are you spending with other people and how much time are you spending by yourself. If you skew to one or the other, you're going to want to shift how much time you're spending on each. Say, for example, you spend all your time out and about, you're getting all these wonderful new experiences, you're meeting a bunch of new people, you're very social, you're getting all these new inputs. You're not giving yourself that time to process that information, let it percolate, turn it into creative ideas. So if you find that you're mostly spending a lot of your time around other people, you're going to want to schedule in more time to be by yourself. An easy way to figure out what your ratio is just take an example of your day or take an example week. I find a week is even more helpful to give you kind of an average. Just write out an example of your week. What do you do in an average week? And just purely count the hours. How many hours am I spending by myself? How many hours am I spending with people? If you find that you're skewing more towards you're spending a lot of time alone, then you're going to want to expand to experiences out with people. We're in quarantine right now, so when I say social to alone time, I'm definitely including that very valuable virtual connection. Zoom calls, texting, phone calls, Facebook, going through social media, all of that is social time. The time that you spend talking to, conversing, adding, tweeting at other people, that's social time. The time you spend unplugged, where other people are not giving you input, that's alone time. So figure out your social to alone ratio and flip it. If you're spending more time alone, add in a Zoom call with people, call your mom, she's waiting for it, she's waiting for your phone call. Don't spend too much time on social media. Like if you're on there, actually comment on stuff and like read stuff. Don't just like actually talk to people. If you're spending more time socially, schedule in that time to be by yourself. Take a nice bath. This doesn't have to mean you have to shut yourself up in your writer jail. This could be a nice walk where you just listen to music. Just give yourself that time that is just you to let ideas percolate. First suggestion might take a little bit of time, but you'll find that this switching of your social to alone ratio will really spur your creativity. Give it a couple of weeks. Ideas will be popping up when you thought the well had run dry. Speaking of being social, that brings us to point number 2, which is join a creative group. Now, what do I mean by creative group? That's kind of a purposefully vague term because it might vary depending on what type of art you do and how involved or engaged you want to be. If you're a songwriter, joining a creative group could definitely mean a band. It might also mean you find a Facebook group that occasionally goes out for drinks in your area. Again, right now we're quarantined, but there's still lots of great online options for joining a creative group. Really good app for this is Meetup, M-E-E-T up, not M-E-A-T. I don't want to go to meatup.com. Don't know what it would mean, so don't want to send you there accidentally. M-E-E-T, Meetup, is a really cool app. You just type in whatever your interest is. It'll show you a whole bunch of great, cool clubs and groups who are meeting in your area. For instance, I was looking for a writer's group to join. I didn't have a clear idea of what I wanted. I didn't know if I wanted a group where I could read the work aloud, or if I just wanted a group where we just chatted about what we were doing, or if I wanted a group where we just sat together and wrote. And so I actually found all these different types of groups in my city on Meetup. And I went and tried each of them. It ended up that I wanted to be at the group where we went to a coffee shop, we said hi, we sat down, we worked, we wrote for 3 hours, then we left. So join a creative group. Whatever that ends up meaning, find one on Meetup, join a band, find a social group, ask your other friends who are doing the type of thing that you're doing, get on a Facebook group and try to organize a Zoom call with the people on it. Make sure that you schedule this time, preferably every week. It can be less than that, it can be more than that, but every week is a pretty good cadence. You need not only new experiences to fuel you. It's not just about new experiences. I can go to Disneyland and ride a ride I've never seen before. That's not going to inspire me as much as sitting down, having a conversation with someone who is working on a beautiful, interesting, complex novel, or sitting down and talking to somebody about the music that they're doing, or hearing them give me advice on how they learn to freestyle rap, or going with a bunch of comedians to see people do stand-up and then critically discussing the stand-up afterwards. There's so many options for this. Whatever you do, join a creative group. It will inspire you, it will keep you going, and you'll learn stuff and become better. Not only will you be producing more, but by hanging out with other creators like yourself, you will be producing better stuff that you're more satisfied with. Join a creative group. The third way to inject creativity into your life, give yourself that inspiration, that push, is to try some new age hippy dippy shit. Creativity is a little bit like chasing the magic dragon. It's kind of out there. We don't 100% understand how it works. Where does inspiration come from? So tapping into that woo-woo subconscious part of yourself can really help. Even if you're skeptical, try meditation, essential oils, tarot cards, get a spiritual cleansing, buy that magic candle, anything that's supposed to expand your mind or cleanse your soul or bring you to another plane or connect you in some way with the universe. Try it. Seek out something that you're skeptical of, that you're like, this sounds like crap. Try it out. Give it your honest best shot. Incorporate it into your life as sincerely as you can. Embracing that side of yourself, or at least unblocking that side of yourself, will definitely help your creative block. So those are the 3 ways to inject creativity in your life if you're finding you just don't have any inspiration. Well, if you do have ideas and you're just not doing it, you're just not sitting down and writing, you're not sitting down and making stuff. The next category is 3 tips to get your hand moving. Tip number 1, whatever your thing is, whatever you write, pick a project, do something, make something that is totally out of your realm of expertise. If you write historical fiction, sit down and write a sci-fi short story. Go bigger. If you write fiction, sit down and write a song. The point is to pick something that is so out of your usual zone. You're not going to care if you're good. You're not going to be afraid of making something bad because you have no idea what you're doing. It's probably gonna not be marvelous. Totally reduces stress. It'll remind you about what's fun about creating and how this is always a learning process. Idea number 2, to help you get rid of that fear or the blockage that's keeping your hand from moving across the page. Take something you didn't make, but you really, really love. Sit down and write it or rewrite it. Let me give you an example. Let's say, hypothetically, you really love Birds of Prey. I love Harley Quinn. You're going to sit down, you're going to write the screenplay for Birds of Prey. Of course you're not going to do it perfectly word for word. You don't remember it exactly. It's not how memory works. You remember all the things you really loved about it, but what you're going to do is sit down, push yourself to write the whole thing. Your imagination is going to have to fill in some blanks. This is a really low stakes, calm way to get yourself creating as your imagination moves to fill in the blanks of this work that you already love. It's a great movie you enjoy, or it's your favorite short story of all time, or a splendid poem that you adore. You already know it's good, so there's no reason to stress over quality. And reason number 2 not to stress over quality, you can't use it because it's clearly plagiarism and you'll get in trouble. So it's not like you can publish it or submit it, but it'll remind you that you know what good writing looks like. It'll get your imagination moving to fill in the blanks that you don't remember. It will spark other ideas that you can then take into original projects. Sit down to write your favorite movie, your favorite song, your favorite short story, your favorite opening chapter of a book, and let your imagination fill in the blanks. Number 3, if you find that it's fear of rejection or fear of your quality, or you've got a little bit of an antsiness about receiving criticism or feedback, this option is going to be awesome for you. You're going to start a blog or a vlog. I know, the world definitely needs another blog, but there's an important reason why you are starting yours. You're going to start this blog or vlog. You're going to have a specific topic in mind, something that you know a lot about, maybe related to your art that you're trying to jumpstart your creativity, but it doesn't have to be. You're going to set a release schedule. You're going to publish every Saturday at 4. At least Do it every other week. Weekly is a pretty good cadence. Trying to do it every day is way too much right off the bat. Set up this blog, pick a topic, set a schedule. And now here's the kicker. You're not just going to put this out into the world and forget about it and no one's ever going to read it. You're going to get a friend, opinion you respect and who you have a pretty good relationship with. You're going to get them to commit. They're going to look at it every single week and provide you with their thoughts and feedback for upcoming entries. Now, this does two really cool, awesome things. One, it keeps you accountable. If you don't post on Saturday, they're going to say, hey, I went to your site, but there's not any post, or I didn't get the newsletter. What gives? You have another person keeping you accountable. You know they're reading it. That's going to give you motivation to actually do it, actually make it. Number two, it starts to build a healthier relationship with criticism. If you're going to add more art, creativity, writing to your life, you really need to change your mindset around how you deal with rejection. Rejection and feedback, criticism are all necessary parts of the collaborative nature of creativity. Other people's thoughts are necessary for you to make good work. If you find yourself very scared of rejection, having this person look at your work every week and giving you feedback, oh, they say that my formatting is a little bit off and they gave me this idea about it. Now I can do that. Now my work is better. And it's going to inoculate you against being really worried about criticism. The more rejection, criticism, etc. that you get, the more you become okay with it and learn to learn from it. It is a muscle that has to be worked out, and this is a very soft way to start working out that criticism muscle. Start a blog or a blog on a specific topic, set up a cadence, and have somebody who keeps you accountable, who acts as your weekly critic. Speaking of accountability, we're on to category 3. What if you have a project in mind, but you're just not moving it forward? You've been writing the same screenplay or book for the last year. Tip number 1, get an accountability buddy and meet every week. Are you constantly setting deadlines for yourself, but you keep pushing them off or you keep missing them? You're not tapping into the wonderful power of public shame. It is extremely effective. There are very few things that we as humans would do on a daily basis if we didn't think other humans were going to see. This is one of the magical things we're learning about quarantine. If you don't have another person holding you accountable, you're not as likely to accomplish your goal. So to tap into the magical power of public shame, you're going to find another creative person who also has things that they're working on. You're going to make a commitment to meet and talk every week. You can do a Zoom call, phone call, Facebook Messenger call. There's so many ways. I prefer to do it online, whatever. But every week at the same time, you are going to meet no more than half an hour. And you're going to do 2 things. Share whether you hit your goal for that week. You're both going to share with each other. You're going to set a goal for next week. To make that first part even more valuable, if you don't hit your goal, talk to them about why you didn't hit it. If your goal was, I'm gonna write 10,000 words this week, and then you meet your accountability partner next week and you say, I didn't hit it because whatever it is in your life, they can then help you brainstorm ways to make sure that doesn't happen again and you can actually hit that goal this week. If you have that other person who is working with you, you will feel motivated. You will not like sitting down and telling them that you didn't hit your goal that week. It is a great way to stay on task, keep track of your projects, keep moving them forward. So get an accountability buddy, meet with them every week, make sure it's someone else who's doing creative work and has creative goals. You guys will be amazed at how you actually hit the deadlines that you're setting for each other now. Tip number 2, if you have your project, but you don't know where to go with it next, or you're trying to fill some plot holes, or you're running out of ideas, you're really passionate about this project, but you don't know what to do with it next, this is a simple way to kind of trick your brain into helping you fill in the blanks and come up with new ideas. For this one, again, you also need another person. You'll notice a lot of these need other people. They're necessary for your creative process. Just pointing that out. So you're going to talk to another person. You're going to describe your idea as if it is a movie that you've seen recently. Now, this sounds kind of goofy. Hopefully it feels fun. Sit down with this person. They can either be in on it or not. Just describe your idea in terms of scenes. So you're going to talk to them as if the thing that you're writing is a movie you just saw. Let's say that I'm writing a detective novel. I'm gonna say to this person, okay, so I just saw this movie last week. It's called The Blood of Violets. In the opening scene, the like really tough, gritty detective guy, he walks into this bar, and the bartender is his informant. So he's got to go like sneakily talk to him. And it's this really tense moment in this scene. The cool thing about talking to this other person is you will see on their face what they like and what they don't like. And you will naturally want to expand on what they do like and what they don't like. Even better, the person you're talking to will have questions about this movie. They might ask, oh, what type of bar is it? Maybe you know the answer, maybe you don't. It's even better if you haven't actually already thought of the answer. Just say something. Oh, what type of bar is it? Well, it's this seedy underground bar. It's a trash place. It's a trash place. So they're in this trashy bar with this trashy bartender, and he's gonna get some information. Answer the questions that they have. If they ask you a question and you really have no idea how to answer it, it's too open-ended, it's too big, you're too blocked, don't stress. Ask the person you're talking to, well, what do you think happened? They will come up with something that you've never heard of before. And then you can decide if you like it or not. Let's say in this detective example, they ask you, does he have a girlfriend? And you're like, oh, I don't know. I haven't thought about a love interest. Like this is where I was stuck. I couldn't decide. So you say to the person you're talking to, well, what do you think? They will probably say, I'm sure there's a sexy femme fatale who betrays him. Or they'll say, that's such a cliche. There's always like a lady. Maybe he should be a gay detective. And then you can decide, yes, I like that. That is it. I'm gonna take that and use that. Or you can say, no, I don't like that. If they're like, there should be a sexy femme fatale, you can be like, no, not in my book. Not in my book. So that's how you use this. Just talk it through with somebody as if it's a movie, see what parts they respond to, expand on things. Having this conversation with somebody will bring ideas out of your brain and out of their brain, and then you can go back to writing and use things from this conversation. So it's a really great way to generate some ideas. Third tip to move your project forward. Speaking of movies, make a soundtrack. Think of the mood and tone and feeling you want to set with your work and make a playlist that sets that tone. That way you can listen to this anytime you sit down to work. And I recommend that if you can, if it's reasonable for you to listen to music, you will set that tone for yourself and it will inspire you and help you write in that tone. So every time you sit down to work, listen to the soundtrack. If you can't listen to music while you work, if it's too distracting, listen to it for about 5 minutes, a couple of songs beforehand before you sit down to work. It'll set the tone for you and help you stay on track. Limit the amount of time that you spend working on the playlist or the length of the playlist. You probably only need an hour's worth of songs. Either say, I'm only gonna find an hour's worth of songs, or I'm only gonna work on this for 2 hours. Don't let this be something that's like, oh, I can't get to writing my book because I'm making the perfect soundtrack for 3 months. This should take a couple hours, maybe. Or if you have Spotify or something and you're just listening to your normal music, whenever you hear something that strikes the same chord as what you were writing, you can add it just kind of passively in that way to your playlist. That's a really effective way to build this playlist over time without spending a whole lot of time on it. So get your movie soundtrack together, listen to it when you're gonna write. It'll set the mood and help you keep on track. Plus that time spent putting together the playlist makes you think about your work in a new way, which will spark new ideas. Now I'm gonna share with you a bonus tip. This is super simple, very silly way to trick your brain into thinking you're being more productive than you are and then actually produce more. Here it is. Embiggen your font, by which I mean zoom in so what you write takes up more of your screen. You don't really need to see the whole page while you're writing. So zoom in so you really are only looking at that paragraph or even a couple sentences. You will feel like you are zooming along even though you're writing less. And then as you feel like you're writing a ton, you will get that joyful hit of productivity. Your brain will think that, wow, I'm really making progress. I keep scrolling down. We're covering so much space here. I'm making so many words. You'll speed up. You'll do tons more. It's all from just zooming in on your Microsoft Word or wherever you're writing. So embiggen your font size. If you write by hand, get a smaller notebook. Write on smaller pages. You'll feel like you're getting more done and that'll motivate you to actually get more done. Those were 9 ways to defeat writer's block, as well as a special silly bonus tip. If you still feel like you need extra help or we haven't really touched on the thing that's in particular holding you back, we have the 21 Creativity Killers Guide. Not only do we outline the 21 creativity killers, so we help you diagnose exactly what is holding you back from either creating at all or creating to your fullest potential, but each creativity killer actually comes with an action plan, and the whole thing has an action plan template to help you write out exactly what steps are you going to take in order to launch your creativity to whole new levels and defeat writer's block or defeat creativity killers forever. If you need a little extra help, a little more guidance, or a plan to take action against what is killing your creativity, then this package will really help. Which of these 9 writer's block tips are you going to put into action? I would love to hear it below in the comments. Of course, if you want more wonderful tips, we're putting out a lot of great content to help you live a more fulfilled, satisfying, creative life. So subscribe, comment below, like, download that Creativity Killer Guide. But most importantly, let's go make stuff. Thing number 1. Dr. Seuss now. Okay? Cut out all the okays. I say okay all the time. Alright. I'm so glad things can be edited. Thank you, Abby.